Dear friends, welcome to Prelude, an interview series by Atelier d'Excellence. Today, we are very honored to be hosting international opera star Miss ERMONELA JAHO, and most importantly, a kind opera star. Hello, Miss JAHO, welcome to Prelude.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Thank you very
We are
much.
very glad to have you here with us today. So, Miss JAHO's compassion and concern for others have motivated her to become involved in two worthy causes. First, supporting abused children, and also helping emerging singers reach their potential. As part of this second cause, Miss JAHO has become an ambassador to Atelier d'Excellence. Miss JAHO, I would like to start with my first question for you today. I read recently that your early ambition was actually to become a pop singer. I was very surprised, and I wanted to ask you, which was the catalyst that made you devote yourself to operatic singing eventually?
Yes, but today to become a singer, we always have, we want to be, the first thinking, the first thought that a little girl has, wants to be like a Beyonce or all the pop singers because they are more famous and everything is on social media. You want to become famous immediately. It looked like that. And I wanted to sing, to become a pop singer, but I wanted to continue professionally as well, not only just by ear, you listen to the songs and you repeat that. And for that reason, I had this competition when I was 14 years old to study in Liceo Artistico in Albania. So, and I was supposed to sing a romanza in operatic way. And first of all, I thought, oh my God, when I heard the first time, the opera, I thought, why these ladies are screaming? Because, because I didn't have a background with the opera in my family. Everything, it was about folk music and so far. And I went to see my first opera in Albania. And that night it was Traviata. I didn't have a clue about Traviata, about Giuseppe Verdi, about Violetta, nothing. So, and I went there, and from the first sound, the first note of the overture until the end, something, I can say that I fall in love. I fell in love with it at first sight, listening for the first time this opera. And somehow, I don't know, it made sense to me. And I told to my brother, because I went with my oldest brother, and I told him at the end of the opera, now I'm sure that I want to become a singer, but not a pop singer, but a soprano opera singer. And I told him because I was so excited. I was so, I don't know, I found something so important to me. My mind, I felt free. I don't know, everything. It was like, I was flying to the sky, and I told him, and I'm not going to die if I don't sing once in my life this opera, the role of Violetta. And that was the key that it brought me in this beautiful world, which it was my therapy as well. I understood that step by step with experience, and I'm so proud to tell that today that I've sung Traviata. It's yes, almost 300 times, and every time I remember that moment. So, because I wanted so desperately, it was something that for me it was, yes, I will become a soprano, an opera singer, and to be able to sing Traviata and to give this kind of emotion that music gave to me in that moment when I heard for the first time. So it was Traviata, my first, moment
Great.
when I decided to change completely.
Thank you for sharing with us this precious memory for you. My second question comes from a singer who is associated to AdE because she was a participant at the pre-Atelier d'Excellence that you were a jury in, and her name is Danae Eleni Palikaropoulos. She is a Greek British soprano, and she asks you, Miss JAHO, you have a beautiful, fully expressive voice, and you are such an emotive performer. I was wondering if you always knew that your voice would be suitable for the full lyric spinto roles that you sing today, and if not, at what stage in your training did you decide to go for that? This is the nice question.
Yeah, it is a nice question actually. First of all, always I maybe because coming from Balkan, and I think the singer, the Dane Eleni, maybe she will know that always we love the drama, the tragedy. It's something, maybe it comes with the countries where we live, with that kind of drama and tragedy. But I knew that from the beginning, that even if I wanted so desperately to sing the drama and the tragedy, my voice always told me not everything I could sing, in that direction. Because always I've been a lyric soprano, and still now I'm a lyric soprano, with this kind of emotion that it's more my feelings, my heart, my soul wants to be dramatic, to be spinto, but not my voice. And I discovered that, step by step, because not only the voice, technically, yes, you can, it's your homework to sing the whole opera, to sing all the gamma, all the notes that the opera that you have in your hands, you are studying, you need to sing them. But it's not only about the notes. For me, it was more important to give through the notes, through my voice, the emotion, because we go to the theater to feel this, to live in this magic world, to go in another dimension. So step by step, I started as a coloratura. I started singing Mozart, and it helped me to shape my voice, to make that more elastic, if I can use the simple words, to sing the coloratura, to sing the bel canto. But I felt more comfortable singing the role like Mimi, Suor Angelica, Traviata, all the roles with a little more drama, if I can say that. And I discovered that when I sang for the first time Traviata and Bohème, Mimi, which I felt more comfortable, and I went in that direction. And still now I love more drama today, because maybe with the life experience, with the voice, I feel more comfortable. And I'm working every day to make, knowing my limits as well, vocally speaking, to express, in a healthy way, technically speaking as well, all the emotion, the drama, without damaging my voice. And I think our throat is the thermometer who will tell us, if we can sing a certain repertoire or not. Training and studying every single day with experience, you will understand immediately, really immediately in sense, even if you are young and going and studying, you'll see when your throat is comfortable singing even the dramatic roles, certain roles that they are suitable for your voice or not. So I discovered that I felt more comfortable, both emotionally and technically, when I started with Bohème and Traviata, and I went in that direction, and still studying today. So your throat will tell you exactly which repertoire you can follow.
I written down this phrase, your throat is a thermometer.
Yes,
this is the phrase right now. It will stay.
That is the best way to put it, actually. Thank you again, AdMoNela, for joining. Another question that I have for you, I am so privileged that I had the opportunity to work with you in Amsterdam. What fascinated me about you when I met you the first time, with everybody in the first rehearsal, we were switching languages to French, Italian, English. I was just like, what on earth? My question is, what motivated you to learn all these languages, and what advice do you give? Do you suggest that young singers should learn languages, to speak languages?
That's a good question. It is very important, to speak the languages. Always I wanted to challenge myself, even today, after 27 years of career. It's my philosophy, challenging yourself. Now, talking about languages, the artists, we are a citizen of the world, and to connect and to communicate with the world, better you know the languages, it makes you feel, I wanted to challenge myself, and it's better, to communicate with every part of the world if you go in France or in Italy. So, but the other reason, very important reason to know the languages, it's very important because not just to imitate, because every sound, every word in different languages doesn't matter. It's expressing the human feeling, universal human feelings. So at the moment that, if you're singing a French opera, the moment that you know the meaning, the moment that you know the sfumatura, the nuances of that language, you can express, those feelings in more authentic and more natural, because it becomes yours. It's not only just I'm imitating, I have to do these vowels open or closed. So it's that kind of technical things that you do that at home. But knowing the languages, it helps you to express better the feelings that the composer wanted to give to the character that you are singing. In Italian, which is bel canto, it helps so much when you know better, when you speak Italian, because it makes sense, this kind of bel canto, having this kind of connection, the long lines with the vowels. In French, the consonants give more that kind of, the emotion it's more interior, and exactly what the composer wanted to express. And more you know about the languages, more cards you have in your hands to be real, to be more credible what you're singing, because every note, every word, it means something. It's not just just the sound. So this is very, very important, and it gives you so much material and so much details. And to be ready, doesn't matter if you have an audition in France and singing in French or in Italy. So you have to be ready. The singer, opera singer, is very important to know this kind of languages, because the operas that we sing, bel canto or French opera, it will help so much, to express what they're singing.
So basically, it is very important for everybody to learn the language,
Absolutely.
not only for singing, but to speak, to be fluent
Absolutely.
in the language.
Absolutely. Because if we say, I love you in the music, in Italian, ti amo, in French, je t'aime, it has the emphasis is completely different. Even we are telling the same expression, and in this way we understand better, and the French or Italian, or it gives that kind of the colors of the language. They are different, and they help you to give that kind of meaning, and it's very important, especially right now. Oh my God, even the young singers or my colleagues, I heard them talking 4-5 languages. Still, I have to learn more, because it's a kind of challenge, because now the preparation is going forward, because now we are traveling like crazy. And if you wanted to be hired, if someone is giving you an opera in French, you have to be ready to learn that immediately, because now everything is going so fast. And if you have this kind of preparation, it will help you to be in the same, to run this journey, of the opera world, with the same rhythm with the concurrents. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your reply to this question. The next question comes again from a singer that was also a member of the Academia in the Atelier d'Excellence. Her name is Marcellina Becher. Marcellina would like to ask you, when did your career start to develop at an international level? Was the main factor representation by a competent agent, choosing the right repertoire, or something else?
For me, it started with competitions. I was training and studying, but you need a competition. You need to compare, to see to compare with the other singers, okay, in the opera world. And for me, it was very, very important to. I didn't sing in many competitions. I've done, I think, 3 or 4 of them, and they were important because I challenged myself to see where I was. Because when you study in the studio, sometimes you feel better than Maria Callas. You feel like you are the best singer in the world, but the reality is completely different. Okay, So, and the competitions were very, very, very important because you have there, you know, of course, you have the other singers to compare with. You have the stage directors, you have the conductors, and you have the artistic directors. And it started from there. And I won the competition. I had 2-3 concerts. After that, I won another competition. And the part of the prize, it was to sing Bimi in Bologna. For me, it was the dream role. And there I understood that how I had my opportunity, but I saw how much I had to work, how hard was it, you know, from the dream that I knew the opera, but going on stage, it was something else. So it started with a competition. And from there, you know, of course, you'll meet management if they see in you something really it works immediately, or you need more time because not every competition gives you everything. And you have the management who believes in you, and the repertoire. Of course, the repertoire, as I said before, repertoire. Sometimes I had challenge with the repertoire because not always I've sung the right repertoire, because sometimes I wanted the opportunity, but from the mistakes we understand more, you know, which is the right thing to do and not for our career. So it's a journey, Maria. It's a journey. It's a journey, but a very important, the competition. Sometimes we know the competitions, they are not always they are not always, you know, to give you, you know, the right answer. Sometimes, how many singers we know, beautiful voices, or they had in the past, they had really amazing careers, but they didn't get, you know, they didn't want the competition to go to study in the conservatoire, or someone told them you can do everything but not learn to become an opera singer. I was one of them, but I'll tell you later. And or you go, I don't know, or you maybe you know that you're singing very well, but someone else, I don't know, wins, you know. But this is our journey. It's our journey, and we need to love so much this profession to go forward, because we can't make happy everyone. No, we have to be sure in our heart that the singing is the language of our heart. We want that so desperately, and let's go. If we feel it, if we have that kind of fire inside that no one can see it, if for the other people doesn't exist, it exists for you, and just to follow that. And you know, it's a matter of time. Yeah.
Thank you for showing us that if you have love and the conviction that this is your path in life, you can achieve everything. Thank you, really, because people are facing these difficulties that you described. We all face them, and we are facing them, and it's great to hear from your lips that they can be overcome by this conviction and this love for music.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Talking about feelings, ERMONELA, we have seen you bring audiences into tears in many with your beautiful voice, of course, but mainly with your emotions that you share on stage. I have already experienced that. I've cried almost every night when we had our moment on stage, and really fascinated by how you connect with the music. Question is, would you share with us, how does one achieve that level of interpretation when learning a new role from scratch?
Yeah. As I told you before, all us, you know, all the artists, we express what we have inside, and everyone has a story, beautiful story with many, many colors. And step by step during my journey, I realized that to connect with the public, every character has to connect with you, first of all. So we are singing human feelings, you know, universal human feelings, the joy, the pain, the desperation, the exaltation, and everything. So during my career, and when I started studying the role, always somehow it's like a book. You open a page and it connects with you immediately, or you need to read a little bit more to find there's something, you know, in common. For me, at that moment, Sunny, Antonia, always this profession became a therapy for me, because it's our lives, our characters is shaped from our stories, our feelings. In that moment, Antonia, it was emotional, because in that role, just to give you an example, I lost my mother, and never she saw me on stage. And for me, it was a loss I can't imagine. I can't explain that to you. Always I wanted her to listen to me, because it's a mother, and she wanted to become a singer. She couldn't make it. So, but she never saw me on stage. And when I sang Antonia, and somehow unconsciously, it was the screaming of my soul, the little girl, the ERMONELA, who wanted to connect with her mother. Please listen to me. Still, I make it now. Please, can you listen to me? And the magic of this music of Antonia took out from me, that real emotion. So, and I didn't feel ashamed about that, because in the past always, just to tell, we live in society so judgmental, and we don't want to tell our truth, because we are going to feel hurt, okay? But the music give us, this kind of magic world. We can express our vulnerability, our losses, and still at the same time to hide ourselves, behind Antonia or Violetta. But at the end, it's our soul screaming, and it's like freedom. So don't be afraid. I'm talking to ERMONELA, to myself, because I found this key to all the young singers, to everyone. Don't be afraid to open your soul. And we are lucky to do that through the singing. And always we can find something to connect with us. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean it has to be a tragedy or drama, but we all have that, okay? And to give a part of ourselves, to the public, to the way how we give them our voice. It's something. It's so liberating for us, for the public, and it's the only way to connect with them. This was my key, which I discovered step by step, and it's not the only case, Antonia, but other roles as well. And I thought, oh my God, now everyone is going to criticize me, but at the end, the impact that it has with me and with public, it was something really. And I understood the duty to be an artist. You have to risk and to give until it hurts. Only in that way you can connect with the public. That's why I'm saying to the young singers, read and study carefully the role, the character that you are singing, and let's find something in common. And you will find that. And working in that direction, and I'm sure it's going to connect with everyone. It's going to smile with the public. It's going to cry with the public, and that's the duty for an artist, to have this kind of therapy or catharsis together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
As you're saying that, of course, I was struggling when we did that moment. I was struggling to hold my emotions back, but then I find myself being lost vocally because I couldn't come back because of all the emotions. How do you control all those emotions to not distract the singing at the same time?
Actually, it happened suddenly, if I can say that. Meanwhile, I was singing, because I lose my mind completely. Yeah. And it brings to me, because I let it go, crying, screaming, and trying to do this pianissimo. But when you are so true, and even if the sound, it's not perfect, but it's real. It's something, it's more beautiful, because it shapes your soul. It gives the meaning what you're singing. Of course, we have to be really realistic. It's the hard work doing every day, technically speaking. So in somehow you realize, oh my God, I have to sing the pianissimo. I have to sing so, and you have that kind of skills because you are working technically every day, and you know how to not to burn yourself, to make it to go back to the sound, if I can say that, because your duty is to start the opera from the first note to the end, So you have to do your duty to sing the whole opera that you have to. So, but it comes in somehow, I don't know, I let it go. And sometimes there are certain characters when even I didn't have certain sound that they weren't perfect, or I don't believe in perfection, but they weren't, in that position, or maybe they were a little crescendo or flat or something, but it was the screaming, but it was so real, it came so naturally that I told you that the connection with the public, it was wow. And I worked in that direction. But of course everything is possible, but we have to do our homework, technically speaking, to sing the next day as well. So because it's a challenge, and you pain somehow, if you are not really careful, how to use your voice. Yeah. So, but always maybe my mind sometimes it's like every time it's my first and last show of my life. Maybe I'm a little extreme, but when I think in that way, I don't know, but my performances are better and better because I don't think about tomorrow, and just living in full and let it go. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I don't know how to go to the next question because this is very emotional for us to hear and experience with you. Our next question has to do with your career breakthrough, which came internationally in 2008 when you replaced a sick Anna Netrebko, who was about to sing Violetta at Covent Garden, and you eventually did that. We know that in order for a singer to take advantage of such an opportunity, one has to be, as we say, ready to go at any time. What preparations should a young singer make in order to be able to take advantage of such a precious moment?
That's a beautiful question. You have to study every day, like every day in your mind. It's like every day you will have that kind of opportunity. Every single day. It sounds a little like you're going in the, working for something that you are not sure if the opportunity will come, but you have to be ready. It means studying every day to improve every day, because we can improve every day. Every day we are a different person, every day our body changes. Every day, emotionally we are different, but we have to deliver no matter what every day. So to be prepared, the certain roles you have to know them by memory, by heart. So even if they wake you in the midnight or the 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, you have to be ready, to be prepared on that stage to sing the role without no problems. And it comes only with this kind of preparation, really pedants, if I can say, every single day. It sounds exaggerated, but not. Every single day. For example, Traviata. Yes, I've sung Traviata many times before I was supposed to. I jumped in for Netrebko, and but never I was happy with Traviata. I mean, yes, I had to do more. I have to do more, and somehow, in my mind, it was just preparing for I don't know for what, and the moment came. So, and or another opportunity, for example, Don Pasquale in Munich years ago, because I started with a repertoire coloratura and the comic roles, and I studied for the pronunciation, for the Italian, every single day certain roles, just to have them ready. I was frustrated as well because I didn't have the opportunity to show that. And the opportunity came for Don Pasquale. And when they asked me, did you ever sing Norina? And I told them, yes. And it was a lie. Never sung in my life. And they told me, okay, take the flight and you come and you have to jump in for another, for this show. I went there. I was terrified. But there you understand, because at least, musically, I was really well prepared. And I remember the movements and, so my mind, the music, it was already here. yes, you have to, the movement move there and there and there. And at the end, it was a success. But oh my God, I was dying because the pressure. But because especially in sopranos, field, we are so many sopranos. And now the technique went so further. They are so prepared. So to have that occasion, you have to do something to have that kind of crazy courage. Yes, I'm going to do that. Even thinking that maybe it could be a good idea or not, and even for this Traviata, I've sung Traviata many, many times. And when they asked me, actually, they told me, come here because you never know. They didn't tell me that I was supposed to sing in the show. I flew the whole night, from New York to London. And I knew that only 2 or 3 hours before the show. And can you imagine, it was full, it was sold out, Opera House. It was Rostovsky singing Germont, Jonas Kaufmann was singing Alfredo, and the expectations were, and it was something, I felt crazy. How I accepted something like that, never had an audition there before. But sometimes you have to go. You have to challenge yourself, because where's the most difficult, moment? It's your opportunity. Sometimes you have to go there, but you have to be ready. It's that kind of everyday working. Sometimes it's so boring, repeating the same time, the same thing, but it shapes, it gives you the security, like the pianist, like the instrumentist. More you repeat, at least technically it's there. And after that, if you have a heart, you put that color from your heart, the colors of your heart to the role. But technically or musically, you have to be ready, because you never know. Maybe never the opportunity will come, but I'm sure it's a matter of time. So preparation every day, like every day is your opportunity, the life opportunity.
Fantastic. Fantastic, and very good for us to be thinking about, because things are not coming so nicely sometimes, and we decide to stop work and we become disappointed, but we have to keep motivated. And your example shows us that the unique moment, the precious moment, will come if you're persistent.
Yes.
And that's fantastic to hear. The next question is something I always wanted you personally very much to ask you. You built your career on a very careful selection of very specific roles. You started with Mozart, as you said before, and coloratura repertoire, and then turned to certain verismo roles. You refused to sing Tosca, recognizing that it was not suitable for you. Can one have a successful career by saying no to certain stereotypic roles? And how can a singer overcome such cliché and follow their own unique path?
That's a good question. I made my mistakes as well. Okay. And as I told you before, this is your thermometer. So the throat is your thermometer. I tried certain roles, which they weren't for me, and somehow didn't work out. I felt it because I felt tired afterwards, and because I wanted to try to explore every kind of repertoire, because when you are, teenager, no one can stop you. You can sing everything. You can do everything. But now we have to respect our nature. Yes. And after that, I said many, many times no, because of the mistakes that I've done. Yes, at the moment, when I said no, I had so many opportunities that I dreamt of, and I had to say no. And those opera houses or artistic directors that I said no, they didn't call me for a long time. So somehow I paid for that. So it's not easy, because it's easy to say, if you say no, you will build a really secure career. No, sometimes you will pay for that as well, because it's so subjective. Everyone takes that personally. Never forget that who works at the opera house is the selfish people. The ego is so big, and sometimes they don't see, the opportunities or the possibilities that every singer can give, can have. So, but in the long run, it will help, and because it will protect somehow your throat, your personality, and you'll feel it. It's something that we feel it. For example, you, Maria, and Sunny, we are opera singers. We feel, if the repertoire is for us or not. Sometimes they, especially now that everything is going so fast, for Tosca or another one, they offered me, I don't remember now the role, but the principal role from Wagner opera, and I thought, oh my God, never I can sing Wagner in my life. No, because you are so dramatic. Yes, I can be dramatic, but not my voice, but you have those, and when an opera house offers to you something like that, and still you are not, you didn't establish yourself as an artist, of course you think this is an opportunity, let's try. But if you try and it's not a success, it's your fault, not their fault that they proposed something, but it means that they didn't know the vocal, they didn't know how far they can go with this kind of propositions, So it's your mistake. You weren't able to sing, and good luck, for the second choice. So it's very important to say no, especially today. Yes, even if we make some mistakes, but the mistakes must reach at the point not to damage us completely. Okay, so, and always just keep on working, and when you feel the freedom that your vocal cords, your throat gives to you, meanwhile you're singing certain roles and other roles that they are not suitable for your voice, it's better to say no, because at the end it's going to be always our fault, not their proposition, our fault. And I think it will come with experience, because when you're young, to say immediately no, but it will come with experience. It will come with experience, but never forget this. This will speak to us no matter what. Yeah.
The thermometer.
This is the thermometer. No matter what.
I love this word. Please, Sunny boy.
That's the best thing, the thermometer, I will tell you. So another question that I have, ERMONELA, as you were talking about saying no, it's so important sometimes, because then it tells you what you cannot do. So being away from home in a foreign country, traveling, and I'm sure you've been through a lot of difficulties reaching the stage where you are today as an opera singer. When you did auditions when you were younger, how did you deal with rejection?
Oh, it was so hard. It was so hard. Many times, you feel so depressed. You start doubting on yourself when you have that kind of rejections, because you think, yes, it's my dream. I'm working hard. It means so much to me, but still you can't convince certain people, which they hire you, and you doubt yourself so much, and it sometimes takes away your self-confidence, and which is very important for an artist. We are already so vulnerable, because to open our souls to the public, this is a vulnerability completely, it goes, and to have those kind of rejections, it's really, really, really hard to be alone as well, because always we are alone, even we have our beloved, but in this journey, in this path, we are doing by ourselves. To me, it was really difficult. I cried so much. Twice I told to myself, oh my God, I want to give up, because it was so painful for me. It was really, really painful when someone is telling to you, okay, it was when I was in 20s, because sometimes I was singing the repertoire which wasn't for my vocal cords, maybe my possibilities, and always, you feel when you get tired vocally. And I checked up, the phoniatrists, and one of them told me, you are too young, so please change your path, because you are never going to be an opera singer. And to me, it was like, oh my God, it was like I was dying. I cried. I was so desperate. I didn't want to tell to my family, because I felt like I was failing, because it took to me so much coming from Albania with these big dreams, and not only me, and I think I speak for the other young singers that they want to start to sing, you know, to try themselves in the world. And it was really, really, really hard. But what I've learned, you know, even when I told myself, oh my God, that's enough, because I can't, it was so painful. But after 2 days and 2 nights crying and being so hurt, still it was something inside me telling me, I wasn't convinced to quit, you know. And my inner voice told me, go, just become better and better and better. If they are rejecting you right now, you improve and improve and improve, because it's that freedom that you feel inside. And you will become so much better, you know, then you'll improve so much, you know, that they're not going to ignore you anymore. And it happened like that. For me, I sing, it's about 27 years. And I had a lot of rejections. You can't imagine. Like, I don't have voice for this repertoire. It's better not to sing, because I'm not going to be, I have to do something. I was supposed to do something else, because never I will become an opera singer. And they put so much doubts on you. And it takes that kind of strength. So the love that you have inside to express, to channel your feelings, even the pain, it gives something so special to your voice. And my desperation, it was, you know, the strongest card. That's why all that kind of repertoire that I sing with so much pain, you know, they are so real, because it comes from my soul. It's the reality. But I improved, because I thought maybe something wrong with me, or how many times I finished the rehearsals and I went home crying, and I thought, oh. But at the end, I continued studying. I started actually phoniatria, which it's an advice for the young singers to know the instrument. So no one will come and will tell you, no, please, you can change, because your vocal cords, they're not so special, so you can do something else. No, even with the ordinary instrument, you can do something extraordinary. That extra, it comes from your soul, for your commitment that you have to go keep on working. It becomes better and better, and they will not ignore you anymore. But it takes a lot of strength. And I think that loneliness in somehow shaped the colors of my voice when I sing. So if I have to cry, it's the crying for real. It's not only the drama queen, you know. Or and somehow it helped me, you know, to go further. Those doubts, they kept me going forward. So yeah, never giving up. Even you are alone, even they reject you, they are not God. Okay, they are not God. And I've heard stories about Callas, about Del Monaco, or about Corelli. Though they weren't good enough, you know. I was lucky to work with people. They worked with them, and now we see them, oh my God, idols. But they suffered, because in that time, there were people that are telling, you are not singing well, or you are doing that even on purpose, hurting us, because the human beings, we are like that. Sometimes the ego puts us in a position to judge each other, because we feel frustrated, but never our frustration keeping in hurting someone else. But this is the humanity. So if you feel it inside, it's something, it makes you feel good, just keep on going. And that loneliness will give, that sadness, joy will give to your voice those colors, and will be authentic and will resonate with the public. Only the truth will resonate with them. So I used all this kind of depression or frustration, you know, to explore and to channel that through my singing. So yeah, that's why Suor Angelica or Traviata, when I go and crying and being desperate, it's authentic, because I've been there, you know, emotionally speaking.
Miss Jaho, I don't know, I'm sure about Sammy Boy too, and the other singers that hear us right now. We feel so uplifted, and I feel personally so ready to fight for my dreams right now. And you have to know that you have a mission also on this thing, because you inspire us. You did. You brought goosebumps on my skin, and I really feel ready to achieve my dreams right now with your words. because all this gloom and doom of the pandemic that we are going through creates questions in our brain. Will I ever go back? And when I go back, how the opera world will be? Is there going to be any place for me? So you really gave us a cause right now. Thank you. Thank you from my heart. So I would like to pass now to a question of Eugenia Forteza. Eugenia is the founder of the 360 platform and community, 360 of opera, to say it completely. And she's also a wonderful mezzo-soprano. And we would like to thank her for her support in the AdE cause and today's event as well. Eugenia's question is, your new album, Anima Rara, is a masterpiece in an audio recording format that captures all the artistry you are celebrated for. As an artist with a thrilling stage experience, is the audio recording a different experience for you? Does it change the way you might phrase or express a line? And does the more intimate setting of a studio allow for different possibilities than those of a theatrical performance?
Thank you for the question, Eugenia. First of all, thank you for the commitment and the support that she's giving to the singers, to the opera world. It's really congratulations and thank you for that. And for your question, yeah, thank you for the compliments for my CD. Yeah, there was a challenge. We did choose, this kind of areas where, of course, it's better when you sing and then, on stage, because in theatrical way, it helps much more because it prepares the whole world. You have the visual, the visual idea, with everything, and it prepares and somehow it helps you to put you into that world, that of the character that you're singing. So you have all those elements that the theater, it helps so much. But in a recording, it was a big challenge for me because, and even there, oh my God, even there, I couldn't stop myself. There I realized that, you have to repeat and repeat and repeat, that there are hours, and to capture, the sound, the clean sound, or I'm not saying the perfection, but to put everything, to be in the right, in the right direction with the orchestra. It was hard because every time I was repeating, every time I was in tears. So I like I was on stage, and it helped that because somehow I forgot that it was only the sound. It was supposed to be recorded, and certain sfumaturas, yes. It is better because you have a microphone, and even the little things in the theater, which sometimes they get lost because the distance or this kind of repertoire sometimes has a big orchestra, and it was better for little tiny details, but it was a big challenge. It was a big challenge, and the lesson that I learned, it was that sometimes I like to move, to put, to sing with my body, and in that moment, I understood I'd done that too as well. No one saw me beside the orchestra, the conductor. But at the same time, I learned how to be a little more internal, if I can say that, without, because, and it's somehow that kind of being, I'm not saying like in a little prison, but in somehow, to be a little more, to compensate the stage and everything. It gave me that kind of lesson that even with little, with less effort sometimes, physically speaking, still you can give, the same result coming from your heart. It was a lesson there as well, how to pace myself, because I have a problem to pace it. Even if I have to repeat 100 times, I go there with the full commitment. And at the end, I'm completely dead. And here I understood that I had to pace myself as well, because next day we had other 6 hours, to record different areas. It was a lesson. But at the same time, I understood, I think it's our duty, even through the voice, without watching, and still our soul needs to sing and to be really honest and to say the truth no matter what. Yes, the theater helps. I prefer the theater, to be honest, because somehow I recharge my energy. But it helped me to contain a little bit myself. So it was a lesson. It has positive and I'm not saying negative sides, but to compensate, you there see how you can compensate, the theatrical side. So
Thank you very much. I would like now to pass the mic to the most silent person here in the panel until now, but so precious at the same time, because without David Salazar's help, we wouldn't have been able to do this live today. So David Salazar is a wonderful journalist from New York and also chief editor of Operawire, together with his brother Francisco. Welcome, David. Officially, you're already here, but you haven't spoken, and we would love to hear your question for Ms. Jaho.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me and for making me a part of this. And ERMONELA, it's a pleasure to get an opportunity to speak with you. I wanted to talk, the Greek National Opera is recently started a streaming service, and among the performances that they're showing is your interpretation of Madame Butterfly, which you are one of the iconic performers of that role today. I want to know, you spoke earlier about how you connected with Traviata and how you've connected with other roles. I wanted to know where your point of connection with this particular role is, and what are the great challenges of interpreting it for you, and how has it evolved? How's your interpretation evolved over the years? What do you bring of yourself to this opera?
Thank you, David. Thank you for your support and for your question. Well, Madame Butterfly is a kind of role for a lyric soprano. Develops in years, with experience. When I started that singing the first time, oh my God, it was like, it was like a maratona, because first of all, it was a big challenge, because everyone told me, if you even think about singing Madame Butterfly Cho-Cho-san with your voice, you are going to lose your voice and never you will sing again in your life. But in my mind always I told, yes, but you have to give something emotionally. And if she's 15 years old, there's certain things they don't work together with the dramatic sound. Sometimes the very small needs, okay? And I'm a lyric soprano. So when I started in the beginning, Madame Butterfly, it was 11, 12 years ago. Yes, in Philadelphia, yes, it was a great success, but step by step, I felt, for example, in the second act, the orchestra, it's really full there. And there are certain pieces that I thought, yes, I have to pace in different way now, because I didn't feel completely, if I can say that, completely, in control. I was missing something, maybe the volume, or because I was giving from the beginning so much, and the certain moments that I needed to give more, I didn't have any more to give. So, and that's the experience. And in time, one after one production, I understood that. I saw the score, and you see, she starts, Puccini wrote to Cho-Cho-san the entrance. So with 3/4 pianissimo to give this kind of vulnerability, of the Cho-Cho-san, and this kind of sweetness and fragility, and I thought, okay, let's go in the direction. And I started to make that so delicate. Okay. And when I reached the second act, when you have 2-3 moments that you need to really, oh my God, I sometimes I feel like I need 3-4 voices, 4 bodies, to support me. But because I paced that before, I felt more in control, even as sound and emotionally, to give that kind of drama without, feeling that kind of how I felt tired in the first time when I started singing Butterfly. So, and in the production of the last one in October in Greece, maybe because after so many years singing Madame Butterfly, I went further. I put more vulnerability. I'm working so much every day about on the pianissimo, make more pianissimo, because it's written like that, but the pianissimo that you can hear, of course. And the more you pace, because even emotionally, because she lives, emotionally, she lives, I'm not saying in a bubble, but in her world that no one can understand that, but and you have this kind of colors to express through your voice. So more I worked on pacing that, okay, giving this kind of vulnerability in pianissimo in the first act. In the second act, there are 2-3 points when you have really to give there. And I was ready because I had energy. I didn't give all the energy away from the first act. So to reach the last one and to give the full, the last punch, for the last aria. And I felt more comfortable every time I sing a butterfly now, because exactly to find, this works for every role actually, to pace yourself, never giving, never spoil it immediately, because there are 3 hours. Even you have the most beautiful or the bigger voice in the world, but still there are 3 hours. And if you see the score, there are so many colors, and every color expresses the humor, the feelings, the colors of the soul of the character that you're singing. So I approach Butterfly every time I sing it. I go a little further with the dynamics in that way, and I feel more comfortable now. And I had this, if I can say that, the result in Athens, it was exactly that, and I could sing every day Madame Butterfly, and I felt so comfortable, not tired. I thought, yes, I made it. At least the work that I've done, it brought me in a position not to feel any more scared, because still Butterfly emotionally, I like to give everything, okay? But at the end, if you feel tired, think, something wrong went there. I pushed a little further, so. And this time I was so free. I could sing every day, and I was lucky because all the team, because it's very important, David, to have, especially in this kind of repertoire, to have the whole team singing at the same, to work together to give this kind of emotion. Because if we talk about verismo, and verismo has to be always louder, I can't compete with 100 people of the orchestra. I can't. For me, of course not, but even in the bigger voice, still, but you have to give emotion. This is so fragile, this character, and it touches us, not because she's singing dramatically, but her heart, her soul, her commitment for her love. She loved unconditionally. That's why it touches us more than, fortissimo, of course. Sometimes you can be dramatic even with a pianissimo, or not enough even with a fortissimo. But still I'm working on colors, dynamics, because in that way I improve as an opera singer. But I found certain dynamics in my soul as well, who's improving. Maybe with age, I'm getting a little more wise.
So in this way, you answered David's question, and you answered actually almost all the last question we had, which was the common perception is that verismo roles should be sung by big voices with a loud volume. And you have touched perfection by carving your own unique verismo style. We believe that you have your own style. How can one evoke strong emotions without loud singing?
But it's the perception that we have to study more, Maria, because we go now just listening the recordings, which is very important. It's beautiful to listen, to have, to have more material and to know the story of the past. But I have to be grateful to Operawire, what I discovered, especially in Madame Butterfly, as we talked with David. When I read about Puccini when he wrote Madame Butterfly. Not only Puccini, but like Mascagni for Odoletta, or all the verismo, certain roles, not everything, because there are certain roles in verismo, they have a full orchestra, and then you need that weight of voice, okay? But the roles like Butterfly, or for Angelica, or Odoletta, etc., they are, the stories are dramatic, but not the characters. The character is Chocho-san, simple, Japanese girl, Lodoletta, the same. They are common, normal people. Sometimes we think that every family is living in their house and everything is normal. No, the drama can come from the simple people, okay? So sometimes you can be more dramatic, just expressing, the vulnerability, to be true and to be honest to the character that you're singing, okay? For example, in Butterfly, what it makes us crying, it's not because she's killing herself. No, it's because as a mother, she sings the last time, to her child, and just to tell to her child that one day, she didn't abandon him. Okay, she went away because she wanted a better future for him. And you see that kind of how a mother, loves and gives away her life, for the best, the better future for her son. So there are certain roles, for example, in Puccini that I was talking to about. When he wrote Madame Butterfly, he wrote it for Rosina Storchio. He wanted that Rosina Storchio to sing his Butterfly. And Rosina Storchio at that time, it was, if we can call it a lyrico coloratura, lyrical, okay? Why Puccini gave the role to Storchio when he has other more dramatic voices, okay? Because he wanted that kind of vulnerability, okay? Yes, you have to do your homework. Even if you are a lyric voice, you have to do technically your homework to cut the orchestra, no matter what, okay? That's your homework. But emotionally, it means so much, and even the voice, the color of the voice gave the color of the soul, of this delicate soul of Madame Butterfly. And when Storchio didn't want to sing Madame Butterfly, he wrote a letter to Rosina Storchio telling to her, oh my God, Madame Butterfly without Storchio, it's a thing without soul. So there we understand, yes, the voice is important, but what expresses the voice. So verismo, not all the verismo has to be with a big and heavy voice. There are certain roles, yes. If you have that kind of voice, oh, thank God, chapeau. But you have to give the story. And she is a young girl. So that's why there are certain operas in verismo, which they need this lyric voice, okay, with to give that kind of fragility, vulnerability. That's why, because you can have a big voice, but if you sing completely, for example, the entrance of Butterfly in full voice, it's not anymore the 15 years old. It's a woman experienced, but you don't give that kind of vulnerability. So to sing verismo doesn't mean you have to be louder, okay? It means how you use your voice. Okay? If there is a 15 years old, yes, I'm not saying to sound like 15 years old, but in somehow to give that kind of colors. Not only verismo could be singing. And to be a dramatic, sometimes you are dramatic only just with the ear. But in silence, you could be more dramatic than to be louder. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, very unfortunately for us, we came to the end of this interview.
So soon.
So soon. There is a question there is still a question that came to us. If we have time to reply it, please let us know. We don't want to steal more of your time if it's not available anymore.
No, it's my pleasure if we can do it.
Great. So Danae Eleni, the soprano that asked the second question, has one more question for you, which is a bit connected to the current circumstances that we are living in the world. She says, what advice would you give to emerging artists who are dealing with cancelled contracts or reduced performance opportunities at this time? We hear that opera will be different in the future. Do you agree with this? And if so, what additional skills will be needed from artists in order to survive in this new era?
This is so difficult. Yes, so many cancellations. I had nine productions canceled so far. And it is difficult, but the opera can't be differently. We need the live performance. It's not the same if you are doing something streaming, yes, just to keep it alive, that still we exist, but it's a life experience. And the public, we always will need for that kind of emotion. And what is going to be different? You have to be more prepared, because when everything will come to the normality, hopefully, and it will be so difficult, to go and to enter in this, I hate to use the word business, in this world. So more prepared, and you really, you need to love it, because it's something that doesn't make you rich, financially speaking, and has to be a commitment that your soul did it. It's a choice at that point, but nothing can change for me. For me, nothing can change, because the opera, the language of our souls, the singing, doesn't have another way how to express, to be different. We can't be like a machines or technology ways, no, it's not the same. We need that kind of vibration. We need to feel the fear. We need to feel the joy, the vibration that the artist has with the public. Otherwise, doesn't have. It's not going to have the same effect. And yes, it will take a little time. We have to be strong and to use this time. Who has the possibility? Because we need to live as well. Because it's easy to talk, but there are families and families. They are not working, okay, and they need to feed their families. But who has the possibility somehow just to improve? Because we have to use this time to work forward, to improve, to reflect, and to go forward. It's so painful that we are living in this time, but the opera will exist no matter what, and will exist with a live performance. So we need the public needs us. So because only in that way we connect, we enter in love with the lives of each other. Now this pandemic, we are being so detached, and we are thirsty for art, thirsty for feeling that kind of vibration. I felt it in Athens. Oh my God, after 8 months, when I was singing there, I felt like I was singing and crying at the same time, because I felt so lucky, never taking for granted anything, And if we love something, has a price. Even the dream has a price. One of the prices is loneliness, rejections, and insecurity. There are prices to pay, unfortunately. So just we have to go forward and to survive as much as we can. But who loves opera, who loves music, the opera will live no matter what. So just using as much as we can this time to improve ourselves, to become better artists, and at the same time it's going to shape our soul, and we are going to be more real, because this time brought so much pain to our souls, and we will channel that with our music, and we always will need the opera.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly.
I'm so inspired to
Wonderful.
like a baby. Oh, idea, and this was gonna help. It's gonna help all of us. I mean, to say, you've just said it perfectly, that never give up. It's just time to just keep on reflecting and work hard on what we do, and just
never give up. Never. This is a thermometer, but this also the soul, the guts. If we feel it to go forward, yes, it's a matter of time, and it's so beautiful. Thank you to everyone to put us together, because we have to help each other. To help each other, that we are not alone. Even for the young singers, they are not alone. It happens to someone who's in career, a journalist, you singers, and everyone. So we are all together. And to be honest, to say the truth, even when it's painful, even without showing this kind of, the fancy thing, but the real thing, This life this reality tested our dream. It's testing our dream. And it's a price to pay for that. Bigger is the dream, bigger are the sacrifices. So never giving up, just going and keep on improving, and it's just a matter of time. And if the other people, they don't understand, don't worry, they will come towards that. So if we feel it's right for us, just go for that. So, and I hope to see you all in the theater.
This is such an incredible message, because Miss Jaho, we receive messages from people who are really desperate right now, and they haven't sung for months and they want to quit singing and choose another job. There's a lot of despair, and what you do right now is very uplifting, and we need it. And I hope you agree that this should continue in the future. After the pandemic, we need the artistic community to show this solidarity to each other, and this love and this support from acclaimed people towards younger generation people, like what you are doing right now. We need it to go after the pandemic, this effort too. Don't you agree?
We will all together. And thank you, because you are helping me as well. Now I feel that all my experience, I have to give it away. It's that this kind of connection, because if we made it, everyone can make it. Just we have to be all together, and we are more powerful when we put we go. If we fight and we go for in the same direction, we are stronger, and we'll make it. We'll never quitting, never ever quitting, because if the soul said yes, this is the right thing, go forward. Even the most painful moment, it will shape our soul. And that's the connection with the public. It's easy to say maybe, but who feels that so deeply, they understand. So yeah, and thank you for having me. Thank you to everyone.
This couldn't be a better epilogue. I hope, guys, you agree. We have to finish with these words. I would like to wholeheartedly thank you, first of all, for honoring us with your presence and sharing your truth. I would like also to, of course, to thank our audience for their attendance, to thank Operawire and 360 of Opera for their continued support to Atelier d'Excellence's mission. Thank you so much. And of course, my co-presenter and my inspirational colleague and friend since many years, Mr. Sunny Boy Dladla, who is, since the past weeks, creative director of Atelier d'Excellence and committed also to helping our colleagues through these difficult times. So I couldn't wish for a better team, a better support to my dream, and I commit myself, as my colleagues do, that we will do our best, our little best, whatever we can, but we have to fight. This is the message.
Absolutely. Thank you to everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, all of you. Goodbye,
wonderful
David.
day, everyone.
Goodbye, Sunny Boy.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye, our friends. Bye.